Drill Cool, what's up? Hey Hardy, what's up? Thought I would stream again for another hour or so, waste time while we're under quarantine as usual. Let's waste an hour. Maybe this is going to become a daily thing. Waste an hour live streaming, just because what else are you going to do when you're inside all the time, right? Anyway, Cloud Brett, what's up? You Prophecy NYL Lee. You Prophecy NYL Lee, what's up? Traded my soul to fighting games. Please help. What fighting game did you trade your soul to? Is the microphone? I should actually probably make sure the microphone is on. I was actually knocked over, Pikachu. You knocked the microphone over. Oh, Foes Destiny. What's up, Foes Destiny? Breezy. Tekken. What's up? Bullet Moon. You're here. There's nothing I fear, and I know that my heart will go on. Is that Titanic? I had to think about it for a second. Is that Titanic? Is that what that is? Just chilling out. Yeah, me too. Thought I would waste an hour. Waste an hour or so. Yep. So, what is the latest video game drama, you guys? Is there any new video game drama in the community? Or anything else you guys want to talk about? Hey. Hey, Clayton. What do you think about the judgment system in Third Strike? Isn't there something like in Third Strike that's like legitimately random? Isn't there something like that? Isn't there something like it's legitimately random in Third Strike or some bullshit? But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's completely random, isn't it? So I guess, yeah, that's stupid. I don't really know what else to say about draws per se. The only other thing that I can think of is I remember in old school Street Fighter, in very, very old school Street Fighter, you used to be able to get multiple draws before someone finally won. Man, I dare say it could go up to 10 rounds. It's been so long. I feel like in the very first Street Fighter 2s, you could actually get multiple draws before the game would eventually fuck up. Because in the very original Street Fighter that I recall there actually being a bug where if you got too many draws in a row, then it was actually possible the game would glitch out and then you could actually verse the same character in the original Street Fighter 2. I forget, there was actually like a bug in the game. Since, normally you wouldn't verse yourself, right, in Street Fighter 2. I forget. It's been a long time. I'd have to think about it. Could you use examples from Guilty Gear X series and Street Fighter 2 to explain the human elements of older fighting games that aren't really present today? What do you mean by the human element? Yeah, judgment is random. Dan Boy, why was Dr. Disrespect banned? I don't know who Dr. Disrespect is. Leon Cho, what's up, bro? Bullet Room, Chris G and F Champ are doing a podcast called The Gods Cancel. I pray it lasts more than one episode. What happened in their thing? I feel like there must be a winner. Yeah, well, I think that the whole draw thing that you're talking about is it's very obscure in the first place, isn't it? It's extremely obscure. So, I mean, of course, I would just say if there's a draw, you play the match over again, right? So, of course, there shouldn't be, judgment is stupid that it's random. So, of course, you don't want that. But I guess you would just play the match over again, right? I mean, I guess that's not something I've really thought of because it's so obscure in the first place. It shouldn't really be an issue. And of course, you should just replay, right? Seems obvious to me. Bullet Moon, because there's only the one episode that happened yesterday. Mega Dude, what's up? Ryu Anes, what's up? Kai Kiske, what's good, Claire? What's up? Like I said, I just figured I'd maybe stream talk for an hour before I stop. Waste time while we're under quarantine anyway. They talked about Riot Games and how we have to be more inviting towards women and children, not drawing them away from the scene. Oh, that's what they talked about? Ooh, boy. Man, you guys would not want to see the conversation I had with APOC. Me and APOC were talking. It wasn't yesterday. I think it was a couple days ago. And, not everyone agrees. There's a lot of people that think the video game, and I said this too, I'm not as hardcore as APOC, though, is. APOC is, he was saying, Smash Brothers shouldn't even be allowed. You know what I mean? He was saying, I don't agree with that. He was saying he doesn't even consider Smash a fighting game when we were talking. I'm not that hardcore. I know I've said this before. I'm I guess technically I am an old school dude, but I actually do think that Smash Brothers does count as a fighting game. But, you talk to a lot of other older dudes, you know what I mean? A lot of other older dudes don't actually believe that, right? And I do agree, though, from the perspective of, though, that there's a completely different demographic of, say someone like me who grew up playing Street Fighter and someone who, plays these new games, right? It's a completely it's not completely different, but there's definitely a much different different demographic of people that play Street Fighter compared to a lot of these newer games, right? But, I made the argument, though, if anything, the fighting game is too inclusive to a certain perspective, right? Because now the video game community is trying to give everyone a reward, even though they've never done anything. And it's inviting all these different people in, and it's giving people a chance to legitimately try to put an agenda in video games. And that is not something you should be doing. Excuse me. So yeah, if anything, but what the thing is, you got to remember though, Chris G and Filipino Champ, those guys aren't actually old school guys. I don't remember those guys back from when I was a kid playing games at all. You know what I mean? So take that for what it's worth. But a lot of I'll say, like I said, I'm an old school dude. Technically I am old school. I was just playing video games so young. Again, I said I was winning tournaments before I could even drive. But, I'm an old school dude who does think that Smash Brothers is a fighting game. But I do agree with the perspective that fighting games are trying to cater to too much of an audience nowadays, right? But You know, some dudes are much more hardcore than me. Like I said, me and APOC were talking a couple days ago. He doesn't even think Smash Brothers should be allowed at Evo. You know, he doesn't even think Mortal Kombat, he was saying. He doesn't think Dead or Alive, Mortal Kombat, any of this stuff counts because it's too much of a nerdy demographic. But I'm not as hardcore as him when it comes to that kind of shit. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Where are we? By human element, I'm referring to how you describe Dragon Ball Fighter Z's homie dash, the stuff that isn't a math problem. I just like to get a better understanding by hearing about examples from Guilty Gear XX to Street Fighter 2. You know, I guess set play, whatever you're talking about. I don't think homing dash is not a math problem. That's, you know what I mean? Like, homing dash is not a math problem, though. So you might be, or unless I'm reading your question wrong, people hate homing dash. The people that complain about homing dash and all this other stuff in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, first of all, you're complaining about one of the only things that is different in Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So that's why I said Dragon Ball. People that complain about Dragon Ball Fighter Z, it's ridiculous. Like, they're complaining about some of the only shit that is actually different in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and you're complaining about homing dash, and homing dash is not a math problem. Homing dash is something that you cannot control. You know what I mean? It's a uncontrollable element. In video games nowadays, everyone wants you to be able to control exactly what you're in. It's my turn here. It's your turn here. I get to attack now. You don't get to attack now. But one of the reasons people hate homing dash is because Dragon Ball Fighter Z is such a fucking pre-planned game. But one of the only non-pre-planned things in Dragon Ball Fighter Z is homing dash. Because homing dash, you can do it whenever. It's not like, oh, I have to homing dash here. Oh, I have to homing dash here. No, you can homing dash whenever the fuck you want. And so you have a game that is so fucking pre-planned, but then you have homing dash. And that's why when I talk about the mix-up in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, people are like, oh, God, I hate Dragon Ball Fighter Z because of homing dash. It's like homing dash from a certain perspective is the mix-up in Dragon Ball Fighter Z. How many times do you hear people complain about, like, oh, God, I blocked all this shit, but then I got opened up by the homing dash. So from that perspective, homing dash also functions as your mix-up. And so then you get into another layer of why people hate it, and you're like, well, fuck. From a certain perspective, the most annoying mix-up in the game is the same mix-up from every single character. Every single character has homing dash. And so then people hate it because of that. Do you see what I'm getting at? Like, you gotta go to like different layers of the game, right? So that's what I'm talking about with that shit. What is your favorite hentai studio? Oh God, I don't even know. I'm a nerd enough to say that I've jacked off the hentai, but I'm not a nerd enough to even know what hentai studio does what. I have no fucking idea. Anyway, nope, no inclusions. Community went to shit when forced inclusion started happening. Like I said, video games, it's all around. Video games they've tried to make the nerd better at games, right? Because again, the video games companies don't even know what they're doing, dude. They're trying to give who the nerd is the most vocal, like, oh God, like I said, these conversations can go on so long depending on how deep you want to get with it. You have your stereotypical nerd. He thinks that because he's a nerd, he should be good at video games. So you take a game like Street Fighter 2. It's a video game. The nerd thinks he automatically should be good at Street Fighter because that's his calling. He's a nerd. Right? He plays Street Fighter 2. He sees that such simple things like a fireball and a dragon punch have so much potential influence on a match. That pisses him off because there is a certain guessing element to it. You know, like the mix-up of walk-up throw, walk-up DP. That's a guessing game. That's not a math problem. The nerd gets mad, right? So as video games progress, combos start to get bigger. Combos, from a certain perspective, you could say are a more nerdy element, right? There's no guessing factor when it comes to a combo. A combo is potentially, from a certain perspective, more pre-planned. But then they see that the combo takes execution. So then it is not a math problem. So the nerd gets more mad. They're like, fuck. I wasn't good at Street Fighter 2. Now I'm not good at these fighting games that are more focused on potentially harder combos, but combos are a necessary evil of video games from a certain perspective, right? So they get mad. So video games, they start dumbing them down more. Execution starts to be not as much of an influence on a match. They start making games very pre-planned, even in terms of what moves can do all around. They start making guessing in video games less powerful because the moves that you used to guess with are no longer as strong, right? Blah, 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 blah. It keeps going and going and going on. So they try to make the nerd more powerful, you know what I mean, in the game, right? They give you cliff notes before the match. This is punishable here. This is punishable here. Frame that, blah, 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 right? Now you have the agenda is so strong even in video games. You talk about Capcom when they put out Seth. Capcom, they try to say that Seth has always been Capcom's way of showing they support the gay and transgender community. Like, look how ridiculous that is. What the fuck are you talking about, right? It's fucking absolutely insane. There's an agenda all around in video games nowadays. Anyway. Whatever happened to the adult Gohan key blast corner loop you made before season 3? No, that still works. It still works. I don't know why it wouldn't work. It still works. The GOAT. Hey, Clayton, in Street Fighter 3 comics, Ryu has a final... Hey, Clayton, in the Street Fighter comics, Ryu has a form called Shin Ryu, where he combines the power of nothingness in the dark Hado. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about Shinryu. I don't know anything about that. I think the whole idea of Evil Ryu is absolutely retarded, though. The homing dash from Dragon Ball Z is a nerfed homing dash from Arcana Hearts. I've never played Arcana Hearts, so I'm not sure. Hey, Hari, do you have a video explaining the core fundamentals of fighting games that originate from Street Fighter 2? There's so many videos I've made on that kind of stuff. I wouldn't even know. Search my channel, I guess. Like I said, I have hours and hours of videos talking about how video games work. I don't even know if there's one specific video to say particularly. What is your main team on Dragon Ball FighterZ? Like I said, I don't play Dragon Ball FighterZ. I just do combos when I'm bored. I've only had Dragon Ball FighterZ even in my PS4, whatever it's called. I've only even turned it on maybe once in the past month and a half or some bullshit. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't play Dragon Ball FighterZ. I just make combos when I'm bored because I can. So I don't have a team. What's up, Clayton? Pro fighting game commentator. I don't even know if I could comment fighting games because I don't think I would get along with a lot of these guys. You know, I don't know if I would get along with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are too fake, I think. I don't know if we would get along. Like I said, I'm a very blunt, straight up person. Like I said, when I see these commentators saying that they don't want to go to Evo because they want to support the victims, you guys are so fucking fake, dude. Evo was already canceled because of COVID. You weren't going anywhere. Like, there's like an idea of like respecting someone as a human being. A lot of these commentators and all that kind of stuff is like, dude, I don't fucking respect you as a man. You're fake as hell. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if we would get along, right? What fighting games did Burst originate from? Burst originated from Guilty Gear, unless you're talking about a different kind of Burst. I'm trying to think. The very first, I know Fei Long gets some credit for having the first Rekka kind of move, but actually Mizuguchi's Hurricane Kick is the first Rekka kind of move. And then I've seen some people have tried to say that Mizuguchi has the first version of a move that has two different versions of what happens when you're close up between far away, but actually there's some really fucking random ass Japanese game where some character has a move like that. But I guess Burst is Guilty Gear. Unless a burst mechanic, I could think of another game, but it might be Guilty Gear. Do you think Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is likely to be revealed this year? Like I said before, I was thinking they were going to just do a Capcom All-Star game. I was assuming that eventually, I was like, this is the time for like a Capcom All-Star game, right? Fake people. Oh, what's your favorite fighting game? I don't have a favorite fighting game. All fighting games have their good and their bad, I think. So it's hard to say. I don't think I have like a number one favorite fighting game. All fighting games have their good and their bad. I love GG so much that seeing Strav's mechanic makes me furious, and I'm not even a good player. So I can only imagine how the Japanese pros must feel. They must feel very insecure. What is your favorite arcade fighter memory, Clayton? Mine is definitely Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I don't know if I have like a favorite. I don't know if I have like a favorite arcade memory. Like I said, I definitely have fond memories of playing video games in arcades. Like I said, some of my only happy memories in childhood is when I used to get to go to the arcade to play video games. I think some people, they probably don't. Well, of course, a lot of my haters don't believe me. They're like, "How could you win tournaments if you weren't practicing all day? How did you do that? You must have been practicing. How have you made all these combos even though you don't play?" Like I said, people don't remember, or well, people. I guess people don't believe me, right? But some of my only happy memories as a kid was going to the arcade. So a lot of times, what I would do is I would just play in my head, right? So I would play video games in my head, and then every now and then, maybe for the weekend, my grandma would take me to the arcade, and I used to get to play Street Fighter. So, since I didn't get to play a lot of video games, I would go, you'd play in your head, right? So that's one of the reasons that I got good at being able to dissect the game and to be able to tell, because I never was someone that got to go. Plus, you got to remember, I was really young during those times, right? So, I guess I'm an OG, I guess, from that perspective. But I was very young, and I only got to go to the arcade sometimes. So I would always just practice in my head, and that's even how I've been able to do all this stuff for video games. And I've talked about Dragon Ball Fighter Z. The whole reason I was able to tell why everything worked in Dragon Ball Fighter Z is just because I'm so used to not playing games and just looking at a game and having to figure out how it works, right? So, the story I told about Dragon Ball Fighter Z is it was so easy to figure out because all these dudes were just watching the supposedly good people play. And I was like, you guys aren't going to get good. You guys aren't going to figure out how the game works by just watching all these supposedly good people play, because all these good people are not doing anything. They're just doing the same goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Like look at what was Nakio and what were Tatsu doing for 6 months of the game. They weren't doing shit. Let's just be honest here. You can look at Dragon Ball Fighter Z for 6 months. These guys weren't doing anything. Why do you think I was able to do everything within 5 minutes? And I posted 6 months right when the game was coming out. I was like, I can tell this works. I can tell this works. Blah, 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 blah. Because you got to think about a game sometimes like a child, right? So only the child, if you guys know this phrase, only the child knows what it's looking for. Okay? Here's what I told you. Here's the story I told you guys how I can figure out what works in the game. So many times, and this is like from a book, right? The adult is on the train, and the adult is always looking down. They know not what they do. The adult looks down, their life is over. But when a child is on the train, the child looks out the window. The child looks out the window because only the child knows what it is looking for, right? Because adults are so fucked up in their terms of what they think is possible, right? But only the child is like looking out the window because they're looking for something specifically, right? So you know what I mean? This is how I was able. So I was like, you know what? Watching Nakio, watching Tatsu, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing in this game. Now, let me just say this: Nakio's a fuck up, right? I don't respect that dude at all. That dude goes around with people saying I faked being sick, right? Fuck that dude. He's an idiot, right? Now, of course, these dudes, they would probably destroy me in the game because I don't play. You know what I mean? I don't play the game anymore because I don't play the game. So, of course, they'd probably destroy me in Dragon Ball FighterZ. But the whole reason I was able to find out what worked in Dragon Ball FighterZ is because instead of watching these dudes that were supposedly good, they just kept doing the same thing. They're just hands in their pocket. Hey, I'm winning, so I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? I got to watch the scrubs play. Because the scrubs are actually trying shit. They're actually looking out the window trying to figure out shit. You know what I mean? They don't have a predisposition of how the game works already. So I watched the scrubs play, like the cell loop. How did I know the cell loop work? I just watched people playing because I'm like, God damn, can someone just try to cancel the first hit of Cell's swipey move? And no one would do it. So I just kept watching scrubs play. And I'm like, there's got to be some dude that is just mashing on buttons. And finally I saw some scrub just mashing on buttons with Cell, and he did Cell's swipe move, and then he canceled it before the second hit. And I'm like, okay, Cell loops work. I can tell. It works. You know what I mean? That's how I can tell. Because I'm like, I'm going to watch the scrubs play so I can actually see how the buttons work in this game. You know what I mean? Because everyone else is just doing the same bullshit, right? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how this game works. So I just watch scrubs play. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's why I was able to figure out how this shit works. You know what I mean? And that's actually a quote from a book. Is it The Little Prince? It's a book called The Little Prince, I think. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you guys read. I don't read because I'm stupid, but I do know this quote. And it's a story about like why do old people, why are they just on trains and they always look like their life is over? And they're like, why are the children looking out the window? And the guy's like, it's because only the child knows what it is looking for. And he's like, holy shit, that's deep as fuck. And they're like, all the adults on the train, they are just going to their destination. They do the same thing. This is my life. Boo, boo, boo. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do this. And then the child is like, but why do children look out the window? And the guy is like, because only the children know what they are looking for. And he's like, holy shit, that's deep as fuck, motherfucker. That's deep as fuck. And that's how you got to come at video games, right? That's how I'm always able to like boom, 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 boom. That's how I'm able to figure out what games work. Exactly. Because I just look at shit. I don't have I'm not predisposed to thinking a game needs to work one way. That's how I can play games. That's how I've been able to win tournaments. That's how I've been to do all this stuff, even though I don't play all day. Because I can think about something and I can look at something, right? Anyway, where the fuck are we? What exactly did you find disappointing about Strive's new RC system? It just wasn't interesting. I'm not impressed. I don't care. It's just like, okay. I mean, well, I don't know why people are getting, okay, you can RC drift. Like, dude, I need more than that. I'm not worried about that shit. I'm worried about stupid shit like the wall. I mean, there's like a bigger problem. I'm worried about, just like they're talking about air dashing, dude. This is what people don't get. This is why you need to be able to have a deep conversation about a game, dude. Correlation does not equal causation, right? I've talked about this before. Correlation does not equal causation. And you can prove this in studies by so many times just showing like bullshit in life. There was some study, and it was something like they were trying to see what is the rate of teen pregnancy between houses that only have one refrigerator and houses that have like 3 refrigerators. And they were able to prove in the study that houses that only have 1 refrigerator have less teen pregnancy than houses that have 3 refrigerators. So now if you're a fucking idiot, you might be like, well, goddamn, refrigerator stops teen pregnancy. But no, it's correlation does not equal causation. Most likely, if you're fucking rich and your house has 3 fucking refrigerators in it, you probably can afford birth control and all this other kind of shit. You know what I mean? So correlation does not equal causation. So people are talking about like, oh God, air dashing is so strong, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, actually, just being in the air is fucking strong in this game. You no longer have to FD to block a ground normal. Now when you're hitting people out of the air, you're not punishing them as hard because air combos don't work the same way. Correlation does not equal causation. The whole game is fucked up right now. Before even recent beta tests, even when you blocked a move in the air, you could just chicken guard everything because you had no landing recovery off of any blocked normal. The game was completely fucked up. Correlation does not equal causation, dude. Just because someone is developing a game doesn't mean they know what the fuck they're talking about, dude. Been proven time and time again. Just like I said, remember back in the day, if people are old enough, there was a time that Street Fighter dudes thought that Street Fighter 2 Turbo was a bad idea. They're like, no one's going to play Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's too fast. Well, we know where that went. Where are we? What do you think of platform fighters like Smash compared to traditional fighters? Like I said, I was talking about this earlier in the stream. Even as like an old school dude, I think Smash is a fighting game. I consider Smash a fighting game. But, if you talk to a lot of other old school dudes, they don't think Smash is a fighting game. And, me and APOC were talking about this just a couple days ago. He was like, Smash players shouldn't even be allowed at tournaments, right? Because the demographic is too different, right? So, I mean, a lot of other old school dudes are much more hardcore than me, but I do think it counts as a fighting game. I hate how the game feels restricted, constrained, and it's super limiting, and it takes away all the freedom. Expression is boring as fuck, and the UI is ridiculous. Well, supposedly they said they are going to fix the UI, though. But what is your favorite 80s cartoon? Don't know. What do you think of Smash headlining EVO last year? I didn't know that it headlined. Did it headline EVO? I didn't even remember. I didn't even remember that, but I guess, yeah, probably. I guess it could have, right? Worst platform fighting game interests you? You posted so much shit during the beta. Yeah, I know. Like, people are like, dude, Dragon Ball FighterZ would not be the game it is without me. That's what people don't get that, dude. Can you believe for 6 months no one had ever done a cell loop, even though I posted it was possible? 6 months I posted that Goku could double super. I didn't even have to find the quotes. Daimo could find the quotes for me, and he posted screen caps. I'm like, hey, I think you can double super. People were like, no, that would never work. All the shit. No one had ever done a sparking loop for 6 months. Think about that. 6 months, no one had ever done a sparking loop. That's fucking ridiculous, dude. No trunk flip combos. No bomb loop combos. All this kind of shit, dude. It's absolutely insane. There's never been a game, and I've been around since Street Fighter 2. There's never been a game that has ever been blown up as bad as I blew up Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I would go try to find someone that has ever found so much stuff as me in this game. I don't think you can find it. Clayton speaking advice right now, boss. I would argue that you're still a child if you look down and think everything is over. An adult would look. Well, it's a quote from a book. It's a quote from a book. You got to know the quote that I'm talking about. It's a deep quote from a book talking about how adults are just kind of doing the same thing and they're stuck in one pattern. So the book is kind of talking about how people are stuck in a pattern and adults don't know what they're doing with their lives. They're just doing the same thing. It's like, the machine of life, blah, 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 blah. But then you always see a child looking out the window because the child always is looking for something. You know what I mean? Whereas an adult, when they get older, they often get defeated. So that's why I was trying to use that analogy for video games. You have all these dudes that say they're so good at video games and they just do the same thing over and over. Like 6 months of Dragon Ball FighterZ. And look what people were doing. They were doing absolutely shit. Look at every time I've come back to a game, I put something new, right? That's why I was saying, like, don't go into a game thinking that just because you're winning, that is what's the best thing in the game. Okay? You're never going to get good at a game like that, dude, if you can't look at a game from a broader perspective. So I was using the analogy of that book. But I guess if you guys don't know the book I'm talking about, I guess it's kind of lost on you, right? The mic is cracking? Is it? Where am I? Watching people try dash and pull off insane combos with Magneto. I can turn down the mic. Maybe I'm talking too close to the mic. Am I talking too close to the mic? Excuse me. I don't know. Other people say if there's a mic problem, I guess. How do we get a new tech that doesn't require a wall or a period interaction? What new tech would be video? Well, like I said, you could watch the Street Fighter videos, right? Watch the Street Fighter videos, what I talked about, what I would change about Street Fighter. I'm sorry, Pikachu, your leg is crushed. I crushed your little baby leg. Look at his Tootsie. It crushed. There we go. Got to fix his foot. I think it would be hard to add new tech to a Guilty Gear game. Like I said, I think Guilty Gear, and I'll talk about it more if I make a I'm snapping too hard. Are you saying I'm snapping too hard? Is that what you're saying? I lost my train of thought. Where am I? Yeah, watch the Street Fighter videos. I think I've made probably there's 3 hours now of stuff I would change about Street Fighter and talking about the mechanics, right? But yeah, I plan on doing a Guilty Gear, what I would change for Guilty Gear and all that kind of stuff, right? And I've already made stuff on Dragon Ball FighterZ, right? Great analogy, man. Totally agree. Clayton's just passionate. I'm fairly new to this channel. I've always wanted to ask, what is the story behind all the Pikachus on your channel? Are you a big fan of Pokemon? Oh, well, for live streams, if I show myself, people keep flagging it for sexual content. So I keep putting Pikachu on here. And for all those fat Pikachus, I used to make the fat Pikachus when I was in the hospital because in 2008, when my health started getting really bad again and my doctors were telling me I could die, health was getting really bad for a while. And so I started drawing pictures of just fat Pikachu to make myself laugh, basically. And it kind of just went from there. Braveheart, exactly. His Pikachus are all vintage too. Yeah. Hey Clayton, hope you're having a good day. Can you hook my boy up with a Pikachu belly rub? He fell asleep. You put him to sleep with that belly rub. Where am I? Yeah, I guess some people are saying Roshi's gonna be in it. I used the Patreon money to buy the Dragon Ball FighterZ season pass, so I guess I'm getting Roshi if he's coming out. I don't know what else to say about it. It's 1 a.m. for me, so I'm going to bed. Nah, been great listening to you as always, Clayton. Later, dude. Oh, nice. Thanks, Joe. Cool. What book is it, Clayton? It's that like the little Prince book, whatever it's called. You're too close to the mic, fam. I'll get back. No problem, Braveheart. You will even notice that the original Fat Pikachu, he was portrayed in the Game Boys on the first season of it. But is Guilty Gear fundamentally Street Fighter? I think Guilty Gear is potentially a progression of Street Fighter, like I said. It's not Street Fighter, but it's a potential progression on the idea of Street Fighter. Without getting too crazy and still having, some Street Fighter fundamentals. Because if you look at, say, how Capcom tried to progress the fighting game genre, right? You have like games like X-Men versus Street Fighter, all this kind of stuff, right? Marvel games, etc., which are good in their own way, and they're important to fighting games in its own way, but they are certainly very far from a Street Fighter game. Whereas Guilty Gear still has some sort of Street Fighter fundamentals in it, much more so than a Marvel game or a X-Men Children of the Atom kind of game, right? So that's not to talk shit about Marvel games or anything like that, but of course Guilty Gear is a much more closer to a progression of a Street Fighter game than a Marvel game is a progression to a Street Fighter game, right? Does that make sense? All right, where are we? What do you think of Breaker's Revenge? I didn't play Breaker's Revenge. Clayton, what fragrance does Pikachu wear? I actually have the Pikachu fragrance. It smells like lemon pez. I actually have the Pikachu fragrance for novelty value. It smells like lemon pez. I think the game would be a lot more interesting if there just wasn't a wall. Are we talking about? Yes, it was Storm Eagle. Are we talking about? Strive? I'm not against the idea of a wall because, like I said, video games do need to progress. Video games do need to progress. So I am not against the idea of the Guilty Gear developers trying to do something different in adding a wall. But the wall is so fundamentally fucked up, it makes no sense. Like, I mean, imagine this. The developers are literally in the interview, they're talking about, can you talk about the idea of breaking the wall versus not breaking the wall as a mix up? And the developers are like, well, to be honest, right now, we don't know why you wouldn't break the wall. Just by them saying that shows they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. You just admitted you put a mix up in the game, but you said we don't actually know why you wouldn't break the wall right now, though. Silence, dude. You said do you realize what they put the quarter in their own ass and they played themselves? Do you realize what a fucking retarded is that? You just said you put in the mix up of you can choose to not break the wall or to break the wall. And the developers are like, well, right now we don't know why you wouldn't break the wall. Yeah, no shit, because this game is not fucking thought out, dude. You haven't actually added in stupid shit. You haven't added in a legitimate mix up to it now. You're basically only punishing the person for breaking the wall. There needs to be an advantage to doing both and a disadvantage. What are they, a fucking retard? Like I said, you can dude, what the fuck are they talking about? It's absolutely stupid. Scatmaster Clayton. Oh, Scatmaster Clayton. That song. I'm a scat man. Beep da beep da boo bop. Beep da boo boo boo. Beep da boo. I don't remember. I forget how the song goes. I forget how Scatman goes. What are your opinions on Mortal Kombat and Injustice? I don't really play Mortal Kombat or Injustice. I made some combo videos for Mortal Kombat before, but other than that, I don't have much to say other than that I jacked off. I think I would I guess I was too young probably to be jacking off then, but I would jack off to Ultimate or Mortal Kombat 3 Sonya. Mortal Kombat 3 Sonya's could get a couple nuts probably. I think Mortal Kombat 3 Sonya looks good. And I think that Johnny Cage, I don't like Johnny Cage that they made him into such a joke character, right? I feel fighting games are not progressing that much. Actually, GG and Street Fighter 5 are a step backwards. I hope they just. Yes, I agree. Generally, fighting games are a step backwards, right? Watching the stupid station, and it's not a mix up, and some man game broke the wall. I mean, a mix up hits the back of a hitbox. Do they even play games? Why do you not play games online anymore? Because like I said, ever since I got a new computer so many years ago, which I guess I had to look it up, is about 6.5 years ago. Fightcade and GGPO, all that kind of stuff, they just lag on my computer. Like I said, I posted matches before. You can see me versus the Japanese before, and I'm doing crazy combo videos versus everybody in like 200 ping. And then I got this new computer, and then when I try to play, it just Fightcade and all that stuff doesn't work correctly. You know what I mean? It's like I'm playing someone right next to me, and I can't even like do a fireball or a DP half the time. It's like stuff just doesn't work. I don't get it. You know what I mean? But I had like Windows Vista, whatever it was back in the day, and it ran everything fine. But I can't get things to not run without dropping and lagging all the time now. And then of course there's the controller problem. I need to get like some new controllers again. I bought those. I had gotten those Sega Saturn Retro Brit controllers, and they were kind of fucked up. They're kind of janky, unfortunately. So that's why I don't. What about the air dash change? Is the Guilty or X Hard one better? I think it looks goofy as hell in Strive. I don't care for it. It looks goofy as hell. What happened to making the coolest looking combos? RC should be able to cancel animation. Wait, what do you mean? What happened to making the coolest looking combos? What do you mean? I missed something. The meter usage in Guilty Gear is beyond games like Street Fighter, in my opinion. Exactly. I don't get their stupid decision to strive. Even Marvel vs. Capcom, like, what do we use our meter for? Breezy Naga. Hey, what's up? DPS Man 420 supers and GG I can blitz reversal super, and I can make all of them together. Let me get a drink. Oh boy. Where are we? I have 200 ping. I remember trying to play Red Faction PvP with those numbers. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I posted matches of me playing the Japanese before, dude. You know? Back in the day before I got this new computer, I was doing combo videos with people versus people Japanese with 200 ping. I was destroying all these fucking dudes. Doing stuff that people said you couldn't even do, period. You know? And then I got this new computer, man. Can't even do stuff versus people next to me. The computer just, it like doesn't run FightKit and all that kind of stuff correctly. Just hanging out. How's everyone doing today? I think Arc Sys is going to have a rude awakening when the game releases. The pros aren't even going to play it for long. Chip doesn't want to break the wall because he can walk on it. So make more wall interaction, just slide on walls, walk in the 2D space. There's so much more room, but at the end of the day, just what graphics art style do you think Capcom should choose for Street Fighter 6? I like 2D stuff better than 3D, personally. I'm guessing you're a Mega Man X fan. If so, do you have a favorite? Mega Man X wise, I think 1 and 2 are probably the best. 1 and 2 are probably the best, right? I know a lot of people like Mega Man X4. I don't think Mega Man X4 is a great game. I was very disappointed. I remember I was so horny as a kid hearing about Mega Man X4, and I'm like, God, I can't wait for this game. And then especially after Mega Man X3 that took so long to get everything, like Mega Man X3 is potentially has too much shit to get, you know what I mean? But after playing Mega Man X3 where there's just so much fucking shit to do in that game, and then I got Mega Man X4, and I remember going to my grandma's house because she got it for me. So I went to my grandma's to play Mega Man X for the weekend. Boom, I beat everything the first day. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? Or as a kid, so I was like, what the fuck? Wait, what? I just beat everything? What's going on? And I was just like, God damn. I was waiting for this game for so fucking long. This person was like, damn, Mega Man X1 and 2 are so good. Mega Man X3 is kind of a clusterfuck. It's got a lot of shit in it, but, you know, so it's got a lot of shit in it. And then you get to Mega Man X4, and Mega Man X4, you're just like, boom, you can beat it so easily. And it's like, fuck, I did everything? I actually think Mega Man X is pretty amazing. Mega Man X games are probably, God, it's a miracle there was 8 of them. Because if you think, man, what a game that had so many, the first couple games are so fucking amazing. And then the rest of the games just get worse and worse and worse. And it's like, ugh. It's actually pretty incredible. The lack of creativity in Strive is just unbelievable. I don't want to talk about it anymore, and I actually got angry. To be fair, it's pretty impressive to do combos at 200 ping. It's a shame that your connection got to change. Like many good players in fight game don't play anymore because of the connection. So yeah, no, like I said, you can watch me playing the top Japanese, and like I said, Karnal's Revenge, dude. I learned that game in like a couple weeks. I was like, oh, I remember playing this game as a kid. And so when I had finally gotten a new computer that I could actually play, GGPO and all this kind of stuff, so I started playing people. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I can play Karno's Revenge. I remember playing this game, randomly as a kid, and I thought Mizuguchi was cool. Within 2 weeks, I was already competing against the people that were supposedly the best in the world, doing combos that would never happen. Then like a month or two later, there was a 2chan thread about me that I was too good, and I was making the game unfun. You know what I mean? So I would still play games, but I just can't get stuff to work on my computer correctly, right? And that's just it just isn't working correctly. But yeah, no, if I could get stuff to not lag, because like I said, it will lag just with someone right next to me now. Drop inputs. I don't know why the fuck it does it, but whatever. But yeah, if I could get it all to work, I would try to play, get a new controller, whatever. But have you met Faking 97? I don't even know who that is. No idea. I'm gonna guess not. Dude, it's Arc System. They can make a game look good. Dude, it's Arc System. They can make a game look like a game, but not make a game to be a game. I wish Kojima got the rights to Metal Gear Solid so he could finish the Phantom Pain. Classic Arc System / Beast Stage crazy. I mean, did you look at Metal Gear Survive, dude? What's Metal Gear Survive? I know what Metal Gear is, but what's Metal Gear Survive? Is that like a different Metal Gear or something? X games got worse after 3. I agree. Yeah, fucking horrible. They are not even canon. They that's not even canon. It was made by Kojima. It was not made by Kojima. At least the Mega Man Zero series is more solid. X, 6, and 7 are easily some of the worst Mega Man games ever made. Yeah, 6 is pretty bad. When you fight Zero in Mega Man X2 and your Charge Blast clashes with Zero all while the soundtrack is banging, always hits me hard. Yeah. X1 and X2 are great games, I think. I dare say you could argue that Mega Man X1 and X2 are not the best Mega Man games. They are some of the best video games ever. They are actually incredible video games, I would argue. I have a bad feeling with Guilty Gear Strive doesn't like the mechanics and the decisions. Let's not forget the music. Yeah, music is good. Do you expect any new fighting game announcements at Play Anime Live? No, I guess not. When is it? When is this Play Anime Live? I do not know Play Anime Live. When is this thing? Is it like something soon or something? How soon is this Play Anime Live? Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Those burps are for my 2% female viewership. I hope you enjoyed them. Favorite candy? I don't eat a lot of candy or sweets because of you know, I'm so far gone into being the most healthy person I can be, right? So I don't eat a lot of candy because I'll say one thing. I still like, okay, maybe not candy per se, but I still enjoy the taste of junk food, let's say. I still enjoy the taste of McDonald's when I've had, like, man, I think bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits taste great. I think donuts taste great, all that kind of shit. But I still think pop tastes good, all that kind of stuff. But I will say, the more healthy you get, the more sick you feel when you eat junk food. Like, it still tastes good, generally speaking. It still generally tastes good, but the more healthy you like make yourself, when you eat junk food, it's like feels disgusting. Actually, I do feel that, right? There's sometimes it's crazy. There's sometimes that even the thought of pizza disgusts me now. That's like it's crazy, right? Like there's sometimes I'm like, dude, I can look at pizza sometimes and I can be like, I don't think I can eat this. It's kind of weird, right? That is something that will happen to you if you start becoming more and more healthy. Like you can look at food starts to look a little bit different. You're like, I don't know if I want to eat this, right? Like, don't get me wrong. If I was in Chicago right now, I would definitely have a Giordano's pizza. I would go ham on a Giordano's pizza. But the idea of like a greasy Pizza Hut pizza, I don't know if I could eat it anymore. You know what I mean? Just like, ugh, this isn't worth the cheat meal. This is not gonna taste good enough to be worth the after effect, right? So, but candy specifically, when I was a kid, I used to like Musketeers and Butterfingers, right? But um I started to not like the taste in my mouth. And again, you get more health. The more healthy you are, dude. How about this? If I go too long without even putting shake and bake on my chicken, like okay, so when you go to the store and you buy like chicken, whatever, right? Some chicken breast, whatever the fuck, right? I can go to the store and buy some chicken breast and then maybe get some like Tyson chicken. If I start going a long period of time of eating a bunch of just like dry chicken, not that it tastes super good per se, but then like say I'll have a break and I'll eat a bunch of like Tyson chicken with like fatty batter on it and all this kind of stuff. It will taste good, but I'll start to feel a little unwell because my body is just so not used to eating not clean, I guess, right? That's actually something pretty amazing about Japan because the sweets in Japan are so I guess it's maybe the sweets aren't sugary enough, but when I was in Japan, I was able to eat most the sweets and I didn't actually feel bad after eating them, which is kind of weird, right? But I guess it just goes to show you how much sugar and all this other kind of crap is in American food, but July 22nd. So I mean, I don't know, maybe they're going to announce the new fucking Dragon Ball Fighter Z character, I don't know. Thoughts on VTubers? What's a VTuber? I don't know what a VTuber is. I love the chocolate Mars and Lion. Got to stay fit. I know what a Mars candy bar is, but I don't know what Lion is. I don't think we have Lion candy bars in America. I've never heard of that before. Metal Gear Survive was really bad because it had nothing similar to a normal Metal Gear that you do. Oh wait, is Metal Gear Survive? Is that the Raiden one where you're like beating people up? Is that what that one is, or is this a different one? Yeah, let's hope Sony buys the rights to Metal Gear Solid so Kojima can at least finish Metal Gear Solid 5. Being a chef has always helped me cut down on food costs. It's not completely to eliminate it. It's going to be expensive, but worth the buy. Clayton, hire me to be your personal chef. I don't have a lot of money, so we know that's not going to happen. Amen, brother. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy life. Yeah, the rumor said they were looking for the rights to Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania, and Silent Hills. Oh, Metal Gear Revengeance is the survival one? Yeah, so I don't know what the survival one is. I'm not sure. Thoughts on Dead or Alive? I think Dead or Alive is fine. I don't have anything against Dead or Alive. I think Dead or Alive gets a bad rap in the community. I don't think Dead or Alive is as terrible as a game as people make it out to be. I'm fine with Dead or Alive. It doesn't bother me as a game. Dead or Alive does not bother me as a game. Personally, Dead or Alive doesn't bother me. I think Dead or Alive is quite alright, personally. What the fuck is the Razer Ryan Fight Pad? $100 for a controller? Has anyone seen this shit? The Razer Ryan Fight Pad. What in God's name? What the fuck is this thing? Razer Ryan Fight Pad. What is this thing? $100? Jesus Christ. Razer Ryan Fight Pad. Jesus Christ, $100, dude? It's pretty goddamn expensive if you ask me. That seems quite ridiculous. I could always coach you through the process of the internet so you could get the most out of home cooking. A Baki competitive fighting game would be phenomenal. Please, some company get on it. You have any hobbies, Clayton? I don't know. I work out when I can, trying to be healthy. I draw sometimes, you know what I mean, just for something to do. Scribble. I play video games sometimes when I'm bored, you know. I don't know. Not sure exactly the answer you're looking for. I don't consider video games a hobby as much as they are a escapism. I guess it depends on how much you play video games. It would dictate or depend on or constitute if it's a hobby or a escapism. Ark did that Kill la Kill game. I heard it was good. Never played it. I paid $240 for my Kwamba Q2 Glow import from Japan. Wow, that's a lot of money. There's an Xbox controller that costs $180. Are you serious? That is absolutely ridiculous. $180 for a controller. Jesus Christ, dude. That's a lot of fucking money, man. Clayton, are you buying the PS5? I assume I will down the line. I would assume I would be buying one down the line, but I guess never say never or who knows, right? I mean, I would assume that I would be buying one down the line though, but you know, who knows? We'll see. Oh boy. I know in my next video I need to make that butt monger video. Can't believe that dude is still trying to say I did something to him. I need to like get in the mood to like roast this dude. Oh man, I need to like pump myself up to talk shit about this dude again. All the fucking lies this dude keeps going around. Oh fucking Christ. Oh man. Oh boy. He's trying to post that I ran away from him now. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? I ran away from you. I've like challenged you to go on stream with me multiple times and you ran away, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's fucking ridiculous. They shouldn't do any crossovers. They don't work in Shonen Engineers. They should just do individual fighting games. Skipped the PS3 and the PS4. There's tons of amazing Shonen series that desperately need a good fighting game. Gonna get 5. Ken Manga, yeah, like I said, I saw that dude recently. He was saying that I ran away from him or some bullshit. And it's like, God, dude. Do I really need to make another video exposing you like lying, dude? Like I just posted on Twitter showing that you were commenting on all my videos before. I don't know how people believe that guy. It's fucking ridiculous. Dude, I actually think that. Falling asleep. How uninteresting this motherfucker is, dude. I actually wonder if he's like the nerd ideal or something. I wonder if he's like the nerd ideal that like because he's kind of like fat and ugly looking, like maybe it's kind of like damn, like I'm a nerd, I'm fat, I'm ugly. Can I like sit on my ass and do nothing and make money off YouTube for it too? Like maybe it's like, dude, I don't understand how someone can like continuously make up lies about you, and then he's going around saying that it's just kind of like, dude, what is this motherfucker talking about? I ran away from him. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure I challenged you to go on stream with me and you ran away, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, are you guys? It's just like, dude. Oh no, dude, no. I'm not getting anything from it. No, dude. You guys don't understand. Like, look at this. When he was making up, like, I don't. Let me show you this. Do you see this? Where is this? Do you see the minus 58 people I lost today? Dude, these dudes, every time they go around making up lies about me, I'm losing like hundreds and hundreds of people. You know what I mean? Every time these dudes go around making up lies about me, like boom, boom, I keep losing hundreds and hundreds of people. It's like, dude, how do I have so much fucking proof that these guys lied? And people just ignore it. So I'm like, is this guy like is he like the nerd ideal? Well, those are almost all from donations, dude. It's crazy. Those are, like I said, those are almost all from donations because all my videos get flagged. You know what I mean? Like, look at this, dude. Like, people are saying I make money off the stuff. Like, look at that. Look at this, dude. These videos just get flagged, dude. Oh, there goes Pikachu. You see the yellow? It's not even green because people keep flagging all the videos. I can't even try to make money off half my videos most of the time because people just keep flagging everything. Half the money is just people donating during the streams. It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, no, it's fucking. He's like the nerd ideal or something like that. So like maybe people are like, oh, maybe if I'm fat, I can make money off of YouTube too without doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, I remember being unpopular when I was growing up, like I looked like a potato. I was pretty ugly. Like actually, I can show you myself as a baby. Let me show you how ugly I was when I was a baby. Okay, you want to see what a motherfucking ugly baby I was? You want to see what an ugly baby I was? Man, you guys are gonna be shocked. If you guys don't think I was a nerd growing up, I was an ugly baby, let me show you what I looked like as a baby. I was one ugly looking fucking baby, dude. I looked like a goddamn alien. I looked like a fucking alien, dude. It's a miracle I survived, but it's a miracle this is what I looked like as a child. I don't know if you could see this. That's me as a child. I was ugly as hell. Do you see this shit? That's me as a child. I was ugly as hell. I was an ugly as fuck. Man, look at that, dude. God damn. I was ugly as fuck, okay? But I was hideous. I looked like a potato, right? So I most definitely, you know what I mean? I was most definitely, I was not very popular growing up, but this buttmonger guy, dude, this guy looks like literally like he probably went to like school and like the principal was probably like, dude, we need your son is not allowed in our school. And they're like, Mr. and Mrs. Baloney Cheeks were like, can our son buttmonger please come to school today? And principal was like, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Baloney Cheeks, but your son is incredibly ugly. Like, look at your son. He is fat and disgusting. He's not going to survive middle school. He's going to get bullied so much. We're going to have to fucking like pay cops to protect him. Like, your son is hideous. We can't allow him to be in our school. Send him back. Maybe next year, send him back home for the summer. Maybe he can grow up and be less ugly. Otherwise, he's just going to get bullied to literally death, right? That's like what a fucking nerd this dude looks like, right? Like, do you know the nicest thing this dude has ever done for the community? The nicest thing for this dude has ever done for the community is he's graciously never won a fucking tournament in his entire life. Yet he thinks that he's good at video games. Like, dude, he's so fucking fat. He has to look both ways before he even turns on his computer. Looking for the next piece of tech to steal, dude. That's what a degenerate this dude is, right? And it's like, dude, how do you believe this guy, dude? I was diagnosed with being ugly as fuck as a baby. When I came out, the doctor was like, your baby is diagnosed with potato. Your baby is ugly as fuck. Let's pray for this motherfucker, dude, right? Has he? Has he ever won a tournament? I've showed all the tournaments I've won. You know what I mean? I mean, this dude is gracious. He's losing to everybody at tournaments, and he thinks he's good. He has to look both ways before turning on the computer. He's so fat. Where's the next piece of tech I'm going to do? Where's the next lie I'm going to make up? Like, I've showed all the tournaments I've won. I was winning tournaments after doing radiation, getting sick. The last Evo I went to, when I could barely even use my hands, I got second. When I could barely use my hands at a fucking world tournament. What has this dude ever done? You know what I mean? Like, this, I don't know how this guy keeps getting away with making up all these lies. I don't know, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, I guess I gotta. It's like I saw him recently, his post and trying to say how he called me out and I was afraid of him. It's like, dude, I challenged you to go on stream and you won't. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I did challenge you. Then he's like posting on the forum how I ran away from him again. And you can go look. It's like, I'm here. I'm not running away from you. And he ran away again. I'm like, what's going on with this shit, dude? Right? Like, look at this shit, dude. This is absolutely bonkers. Look at this shit. I can show you guys here too, and you guys can post it. Damn, look at this ass. I just opened up Twitter, and this ass is fat. I was not expecting this. Get away, semen demon. I'm trying to go on the stream and look for stuff on my Twitter. Where is this? I mean, this is how ridiculous this dude is. So again, so there's this dude trying to say that he didn't know me as Clayton Chapman, right? He didn't know me as Clayton Chapman. But what do we have right here? He used to comment on all my videos during the beta, talking about how awesome they were. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? What is this dude talking about, dude? There's posts of him talking to me. Now he's never talked to me? I didn't know you were Clayton Chapman. Like it says my name is Clayton Chapman. What are you talking about? And then look at this dude. This dude's trying to say I ran away from him again. It's like, dude, I've challenged you multiple times to come on stream with me and prove that I lied. And you ran away. And then you said I hacked everything and it's not real. Like look at this, dude. How do fucking people believe this idiot? It's like, dude, I showed you you're an idiot. Like, I didn't run away from you, dude. I was right here. Anyway. I guarantee you that half of the people in and out of the room are extensions of Rufal. It's just because freedom of speech isn't allowed on YouTube anymore. We could hop we could hop in his disc during the stream. Well, I mean, you guys can call him out if you want, right? Even Pikachu looks more human, yeah. Has he only stolen from you or has he stolen from others? No, I posted other stuff. Yeah, no, he's been caught stealing from multiple people, actually. No, he's been caught stealing from multiple people, actually. It's not just me, no. And he continues to, like, some people told me they tried to call him out and he just automatically bans them. Like, I know there's a couple people in that post and he just automatically banned them when they showed what happened. So it's like, dude, who's actually afraid? I'm like, dude, I'm, you know what I mean? I'm not afraid of anybody, dude. What is someone going to, like, come at me with, dude? Like, why do you keep saying I'm afraid of you when I showed proof of everything I've talked about? It's not very hard. Do you have a Southern twang a bit, or am I mistaken? No. I think when I do the Southern accent, it's to sound stupid. I'm purposely trying to sound like a retard. That's kind of the sarcasm. I'm purposely trying to sound like a Southern, like, idiot for some sarcasm. Yeah, but no, that's something funny you could do. Yeah, I dare you guys to go post on that comment of his and see if you guys get deleted. Post the proof of what I've showed. See if you get deleted. Okay, so you're actually gonna go post? Yeah, like I said, you would never think of him doing something wrong? Dude, like I said, look at the videos of him literally telling everyone on stream that I faked being sick. And then when I challenged him to go on stream, he said I hacked the records and they weren't real. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And then he tried to say that, I mean, dude, the dude's a complete fuck up, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. He is a very fucking shady person. Like I said, I showed the things too. He's trying to say that he didn't know that I'm Clayton Chapman, but why is he commenting on all my videos that say Clayton Chapman? Like, are you that much of an idiot that you forgot to go and delete all your posts where you're talking to me? Like, wow, what a fucking idiot, dude. I didn't know you were Clayton Chapman. You're some asshole on SRK. And it's like, dude, you're commenting on all the posts that say Clayton Chapman and you're talking about how awesome it is. Then you saw you could make money off of YouTube, so you told people I faked being sick, and then you started doing everything that I did and took it as your own. Like what? They're like, dude, you didn't delete your post. What a fucking idiot! You probably should have deleted your post so the evidence wouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? It's like I don't. Okay, like are you that much of an idiot? But okay. But yeah, no, like I said, by all means, go. I dare you guys to go post on that stuff. Like call him out. See if he deletes you guys too. He keeps talking about how everyone's running away from him, but I've had multiple people tell me that they've tried to call him out and then they get deleted. And it's like, damn, you sure are. You sure that everyone's running from you? It doesn't look like it, dude. But anyway, yeah, the dude, he's a complete fuck up, man. Like I said, he looks like that kind of cliche nerd. He looks like I remember when I used to go to tournaments. You know what I mean? Just kind of like I used to go. You never go to tournaments? Well, years ago I did, right? But sometimes you would shake somebody's hand and they were like sweaty, and I remember you have to like wipe off my hand. You know what I mean? Before the match, you like shake hands. You got to wipe your hand off. Like that's what this dude looks like. He is like so cliched nerdy. I can imagine this dude going to shake your hand before a match, and you got to fucking like wipe off like the fucking Ghostbuster ectoplasm off your hand. It's like, God damn. Did you take a shower, motherfucker? It's like, that's what this dude looks like to me. I'm like, God damn, this dude is one of the most cliche looking nerds I've ever seen, dude. Like, that's why I actually wondered if there is kind of like a psychology thing that's why people think he's a good guy. I'm like, oh, he's fat, he's ugly. You know what I mean? Maybe he's fat, he's ugly, so he must be a good guy. He's like a real nerd, right? That's what I wonder. I wonder if it's something like that, right? So people are like, oh, if he looks like a nerd, he's one of us or some bullshit, right? He's like the nerd ideal. Never done anything in his life, but he wants money for it, right? It's pretty crazy, but oh, yeah, like I said, a lot of people are not as good. Like there's a lot of fake social justice warriors. Like even on that status, that they're talking about, there's that even on that status, there's that Cal's Kingdom guy. That guy's been caught making up lies about me multiple times. I called that guy out for making up lies about me, and when he got caught lying, he tried to say that it's not it's not proof that he's lying because it was his opinion that I did all this stuff, and you can't lie about an opinion. And I was like, is this guy really that much of an idiot? Your excuse for like me catching you lying is you saying that it was just your opinion that I did all this stuff, so it doesn't mean you were actually lying. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, bro. I'm like, that's pretty fucking weird, dude. That's pretty fucking weird, man. Oh yeah, here's another picture of me as a child. Here's another picture of me. This is what the doctor. Yeah, he's been caught stealing from many people. I posted it before. Yeah, this is what the doctor gave us. The doctor, that's what they gave me and my parents. They're like, we got to talk about your potato child. Your child looks like a potato. When's the face reveal? What face reveal? Of me? You guys already know what I look like. What are you talking about? Or are you talking about him? I mean, you can see what he looks like. He's pretty goddamn ugly. He looks like you're a cliche nerd. He looks like the stereotypical nerd that, people are warned about growing up. Like when your parents warn you not to be a nerd because it's for losers. You know what I mean? That's what he looks like, right? Oh, has anyone stolen from me? Yeah. Tons of people. Yeah, no, I posted that Teen Gohan Discord, dude. They literally took all this stuff. They said it wasn't real and it was fake. They were going around on Twitter and Discords and they said everything I did was fake and it wasn't real. And then they later posted it as their own that they found it. And like I said, I posted that. They actually tried to start a gay LGBT thing against me. They tried to say that Clayton hates gay people and told them all to kill themselves to get people to not watch my videos. And then right after it, they posted what I did as their own. And the funny, actually have a chat. And I showed, if you watch my videos, you can go watch it. So on Twitter and certain Discords, they were telling everyone that all the stuff I was doing was fake and it wasn't real. And then there's even a Discord they have where they admit that it was all from me. And I showed the screen caps of it because they're talking about it. It's in the videos. Go watch. But of course, they tried to act like I faked it and it wasn't real. But, it's like, dude, you can go look it up. The links are there. It's right there, dude. That? And what about that? What do you mean nice? Like I said, I do mostly body weight stuff when I work out. You know what I mean? If that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about workout stuff, I do mostly body weight stuff. Young Clayton is on chapter 35 of the Potato Chronicles. Calluses are like a bat. Oh, well, they're not big or anything. I mean, like I said, I've actually never even lifted 50 pounds before. I guess that one kind of looks big. I don't know. But no, I've actually never even lifted 50 pounds before because I've had surgery, so I can't use my hands as well as I used to be able to. Where are we? How much was the trip to Japan? I don't know because I got to stay for free. I'm not sure. Unless you're talking about plane. Unless you're talking about the plane ticket. The plane ticket was... The plane ticket was... the first one was... the first plane ticket was, I don't remember, maybe $1,300, and the second plane ticket was maybe $1,600. I forget. Something like that. Dragon Ball FighterZ's biggest problem is the fundamental problems. Why are you happy with settling for image? What do you mean settling for image? What do you mean settling for image? Oh, actually, I didn't even realize. Oh, is it actually 6? I just had to look at the clock. I'm going to finish up here so we can finish up some questions, and then I'm going to make something to eat. Oh, well, my hands are real fucked up. Like I said, I've had surgery. That's one of the reasons I got to do body weight stuff. Like I said, it's one of the reasons, like, I like drawing. I wanted to be an artist when I was younger, but, when I got sick, as my body started to go on me, I had to have surgery on my hands. So I can't draw like I want to. I don't really play video games. Like I said, it's hard to play video games for a long period of time. Like I said, I showed those recent Guilty Gear matches. We only played not very long. Like, so when I go to play video games, I don't think, I'm trying to think what a time frame. Let's say in the past few years, even the past few years, longer than a few years, I don't think I've ever gone to play video games with people and ever even played 2 hours of video games. I don't even think I've ever even played 2 hours of video games. You know what I mean? So I can't use my hands for too long because my hands are fucked up. But so a lot of times when I randomly will play video games, which isn't a lot, right? But we might play a half hour stop, play a half hour stop, some bullshit. We don't generally don't play very long. And like I said, even when I'm at home, I generally don't play a lot of video games for a long period of time, unless it's like an RPG. If it was an RPG, I would play longer. But fighting game wise, even when I make combo videos, a lot of times it's just kind of like I take breaks, play a little bit, stop, play a little bit, stop, play a little bit, stop, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Nerve damage. So why are you? Yeah, why are you happy with selling the image? I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Any leg exercises you recommend? I don't do, dude. It is so hard for me to even work out my upper body, dude. You got to remember, dude, I've been sick almost my entire life now, dude. It's hard enough just to work out my upper body. I do like body weight squats kind of shit, dude. So I don't do anything crazy butt wise or leg wise. I work out at my house. Like I said, I don't even have 50-pound weights. I've never even lifted 50 pounds before. I do mostly band stuff and body weight stuff. Like some people say I have a big chest. I only do push-ups. You know what I mean? I can show like I've only do push-ups, right? Some people think I have a big chest. I only do push-ups. You know what I mean? So I do mostly body weight stuff. So I don't bench press or anything like that. Well, in my opinion, training is either for image or for maximum human performance. Oh, well, I guess being ripped looks cool, but like I said, I got really serious. Well, serious. I got serious into working out after I had C. diff, and my doctors were like, "You could die." And man, I got really sick from C. diff. Like I said, I was in the hospital for a week, and it took me a year before. I could even work out again, and so that's why I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, I need to know that if any excuse is an excuse I have to live with, right? So after C. diff, it took me a year before I could even work out again. I was really fucked up from that, and I've met other people. I met this other girl from she had it around a similar time frame, and I guess every person I've ever known. I met two girls who had C. diff, right? And one girl ended up losing part of her stomach because then she got colitis from it as well. And so she got like a poop bag, like a colostomy or whatever that thing is called. So thankfully I never got that because she got it multiple times, dude. I can't even imagine getting it multiple times. I had it just once. And like I said, it was a year before I could even work out again. I was in the hospital for a week. Man, I was collapsing for like 6 months after it. I was real fucked up. And but she got it multiple times and she ended up losing part of her stomach. And then I know another girl that got it, and she got real sick from the medicine from it too. Like Flagyl is the medicine they give it to, and she got real sick from it too. So yeah, like after all that, I was like, and not that I didn't work out before. There were times, you know what I mean? There were times that, I worked out, before when I was younger, but, after C. diff, you know what I mean? I really started pushing myself as hard as I could once I could work out again. I played Yoshi Island for 10 minutes on my Switch gamepad once my hands hurt. That's the only time I ever got physical pain from a game, so yours must be pretty severe. Well, like I said, that's one of the reasons I had to teach myself how to play on controller, because I used to play on arcade sticks. And then as I got sicker, I had to teach myself how to play on pad, period. I just had to give up playing on stick because it gets too painful. So that's actually why I had to teach myself to play on pad, period, for games. How many push-ups for you in a set? I have no idea how many I can do. I have no many idea how many push-ups I can do in a set. I don't know. I know when I've had times when I couldn't walk, I was doing not hundreds in a row, but I was doing hundreds and hundreds throughout the day. When I had times that I couldn't walk, man, dude, hundreds and hundreds throughout the day. But it's throughout the entire day, right? So it's not like you're doing 100, 100, 100, 100. It's just like throughout the day, I would just do push-ups here, push-ups there, push-ups there, push-up there, push-up there, push-up there, because I couldn't like walk for a while. Like my body was just so fucked up, dude. I was just in so much pain. But yeah, so I don't know how many exactly in a set, but I've had times where I've done a lot throughout the day for sure. The Animated Gamer, what's up, dude? We're just finishing this stream. So if you guys have a few more questions before I bust out of here, let me know. How do you feel after doing 100 push-ups throughout the day like that, like you're wide awake or taking a nap? Well, I did more than 100 push-ups in one day. I did more than 100 push-ups in one day. I was saying I was doing like, when I couldn't walk and I was so fucked up, I was doing hundreds throughout the day. But it wasn't something like I did 100 at once or something. How do you feel after you do push-ups? Well, God, I've never done 200 push-ups in a row, not even close. So I have no fucking idea about that. But how do you feel like, I don't think working out is fun. I don't like working out. I'm not one of those. There's very few times that I've ever enjoyed working out. Every now and then it'll be like, okay, I'll get like a spurt of energy. Very, very rarely I'll feel like I'll get like a spurt of energy, like I need to work out. But generally, I'm just so tired from being sick all the time. The only reason I work out is just because I know it's good for you. And so I feel morally good. But no, I don't generally feel good from working out. Man, like I said, it took me a year before I could work out again. And even the first so many years, once I started working out again, man, I was working out next to garbage cans for years, trying to like get my body back able to like do stuff. Like I said, I showed pictures of myself. I was not in good shape, dude. You know what I mean? It took a lot out of me. So, I guess you could say morally, I would like to work out more now, but I just can't physically do it. I can't do it. I can't physically do it. But not that I want to either, but I know like physically I can't do it because I have a strong moral obligation to feeling like I need to do it because of health. But there's lots of times I can't fucking do it. I'm just too much pain and not feeling good, Have you ever been in a relationship before? Depends on how serious you mean. I guess. Yes, I had sex, that kind of stuff. So yes. Have I ever been in love? No. Not like a lovey-dovey kind of thing, no. I have friends who are programming a fighting game on their own. What is your biggest advice? I don't know. I wish I knew how to program a game. If I knew how to program a video game, I would make my own video game. For sure I would. But I don't have any advice on how to do that because I don't know. If you didn't have a disease, would you be a personal trainer? No, if I wasn't sick, that's such a hindsight is 2020, whatever kind of thing. If I wasn't sick, I probably would have taken the modeling more seriously when I had the modeling jobs. Probably would have taken that more seriously. Because I mean, like I said, I got that modeling job when I was a kid. Man, dude, they were offering me so much money. They were offering me like $120 an hour just to do nothing at one point. But I was a kid and I was also making money playing video games. You know what I mean? So, I was like, God damn, I was like, man, I can make money playing video games just for fun. I got this modeling job, and then boom, my life just changed. I got sick. I had to do the radiation to nuke my thyroid. So all my hair was coming out. And of course, they're not going to give me a job like that. I showed pictures. I lost like 35 pounds, something instantly right when I did that. All my hair was coming out. I was losing all this weight. I got real fucking sick. And then after that, then I ballooned up. Then I gained like almost. So if I lost, because I was around probably 160 when I had the modeling stuff when I was a kid. And then I went down to like 130. And then I like ballooned up to 180. So like right now, like I'm 175 pounds. But okay, so when I got sick, I was about 160 pounds, let's say. I went down, I nuked my thyroid, started losing all my hair, went down to like 130 pounds, just lost like 30 pounds, just like nothing, just everywhere. And then I went up to like 180 pounds because I just started gaining all this weight then, because you got to like get your thyroid dose fixed and all this kind of stuff. And, but even then now, so now I'm like 175 pounds, and that was so long ago now. I was a fucking kid when it happened, so it was a very long time ago. But yeah, would my life be different? I probably would have tried to take modeling seriously. Who knows? Maybe I'd still be winning money playing video games, right? Maybe I'd still be winning tournaments, right? Maybe I'd still be doing all that stuff. I mean, Christ, because I was able to win video game tournaments fucking sick as fuck. I showed pictures. I was getting sick in between matches and I was still winning tournaments, right? So I guess if I wasn't sick, man, who knows how many fucking tournaments I would have won. Maybe I'd still be winning tournaments, right? But like I said, I wanted to be an artist when I was younger too, but I had to, unfortunately, I was not able to finish school because I was so sick they wouldn't let me pass anymore because I just missed so many days. So I couldn't even finish school. They wouldn't let me. But personal trainer, no, I've never thought about being a personal trainer. Never thought about anything like that, no. Hey, waiting until you find the one for that lovey-dovey relationship. How did you get modeling jobs? So when I was a kid, I was scouted. And then when I was older and I tried to get back into modeling, I had to like apply. And but nowadays, man, it's not even that. All the modeling stuff I've done now is just bullshit stuff. It's nothing amazing. I've done some like ghetto fashion shows. It's nothing too important, right? And plus, I've like lost. I had a few years ago, like say, I had an opportunity to do like a Neiman Marcus fashion show. You know what I mean? Which would be, rich people kind of stuff. But then they found out I was sick, so I couldn't do it. And then, the modeling stuff I do now is absolutely so fucking ghetto. Like I've turned down girls, like I turned down the boss before, so I couldn't get the job. And, so I'm not doing anything now. You know what I mean? Any modeling stuff I've done now is just kind of like bullshit kind of stuff, right? So I wish I would have taken it seriously when I was younger, but what are you going to do? And, there's politics even in modeling, right? And I'm not like a good model either. right? So I'm only like 5'11" out of bed, so I'm not even tall. Like if I was like 6'1" or something like that, yeah, right. So I wear boots. I wear boots to make me 6'1", right? So I mean, if I was taller, I'm sure it would have been better. But I'm only 5'11" out of bed. I'm not super tall. So I mean, you know, who knows? Maybe I would have got taller if I wasn't sick or something. Because my dad was like 6'2" or 6'3" or some bullshit. So I don't know. Like I said, my dad killed himself when he was pretty young. So supposedly, some people say my dad was like 6'3", but sometimes people always exaggerate people. So maybe he was only like 6'2". I remember he was a pretty tall dude, but was he really 6'3"? I don't know. Maybe he was, right? I don't know, but who knows? That ain't much weight in my opinion. Yeah, that's why I said like some people think I'm super huge, but I'm only like 5'11", 175 pounds, right? So when I was at my most ripped, I think I got to like, I was at like, man, when I was at my most ripped, I was like a good, let's say 178 while still having a really ripped six pack. But I don't think I've ever been more than that. So, bro, he was 160 pound of course he got scouted. With the good looks too. What is your dream goal? Yeah, no. So this is what I looked like, when I was a kid, when I was first getting those modeling jobs. All right. Let me find a picture. Let me find a picture of myself as a young buck. I have a lot of autoimmune diseases, dude. Like I said, go look at the medical records, bro. Can't read this shit. I thought I had it. Where is this picture? Do I not have a picture? Oh. That was me. That was me. Oh well, dream goal. Dream goal to be happy, I guess. Anywho, dudes, I'm gonna get ready to bust out of here. Make some food. Remember, there's a PayPal super chat. So you look progressively better as you age. Well, it depends. You got to remember, I've been real sick since I've been a kid, right? So I mean, this is what I was going to tournaments. Like people don't remember this, dude. So that was pretty early on. But when I was winning tournaments, I actually looked like this a lot of the time, dude. Right? Let me find the pictures. Where is this bullshit? I was actually going to tournaments like that when I was winning tournaments, right? People probably don't remember that because they try to say it didn't happen because they're like insecure, right? But I was sick most of the time I was younger, dude. So, but after I got the C. diff, you know what I mean? After that, it took me about a year before I could work out again. Then I was like, I just got to push myself as hard as I can. Anyway, yeah, dream goal to be happy. Anyway, dudes, like I said, there's a super chat. If anyone wants to donate to the super chat, PayPal, Patreon, blah, 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 blah. If you like the videos, comment on the videos, algorithm, blah, 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 blah. Liking the videos, commenting on the videos, sharing the videos, it helps. If you want to help me expose all these dudes for the lies they've made up, by all means, help me expose these guys. That would help the channel as well. Kind of stuff is good, right? So anyway, anything else before I go? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, guys. Ian, thanks for tuning in.